Hey guys, welcome back to the video series for the BBTAG 2.0.2, technically, tier list. I say technically because, well, I personally don't have 2.0.2 yet. It's really fucking late, by the way, but nonetheless. Remember how I said I'd have a lot to say about the next character at the end of the last video? Boy, do I mean a hell of a lot! Let me tell you something about Heart this patch. She is so much better than she was previously. In the previous patch, I honestly considered her bottom 5 because a lot of bugs just honestly held her back severely. And not to mention, there's just a lot of stuff in general that just felt really lackluster with this character, especially considering that her homing dash can be so easily anti-aired, it's not even funny. And while that's still kind of a problem she has, it's no longer as fatal as it was previously, because the stuff she got this patch is so damn nice. Being able to instantly homing cancel out of 214B, which is her B orbs, is so fucking useful, it's not even funny. And not to mention the infamous homing cancel homing setups, which is a lot more powerful than you might think. It's actually really damn good when it comes to conditioning. That said, however, her biggest buffs, honestly, were the bug fixes. Specifically, the homing cancel scaling, which was pretty garbage for no reason in the previous patch, was corrected in this version, and thank God, because now she's actually getting a bit more damage out of that shit now. But the biggest bug fix that actually really helps her is the removal of the momentum cancel glitch, which, while it did lead to some unique stuff, it honestly ended up feeling like more of a hindrance than a helpful thing. So with that gone, Heart actually feels a lot more consistent with her homing dash now, and that is such a big deal. This character actually feels like she can be a major threat, and on offense, she is fucking disgusting. Unfortunately, she still suffers the exact same issues as the previous patch. Garbage defense, her clash box is not working as much as you would like them to in a lot of cases, and in general, just complete instability. Like, she's completely unstable in a lot of cases. Hell, the heart mirror is so dumb that she has such bad defense she loses to herself. It's kind of amusing when you think about it that way. That said, unfortunately for her, her other big problem, which was a big issue with her team building as well in the previous patch, she relies heavily on getting carried by the top 10, unless you're running Hyde. Basically, her best bets, in my opinion, Yumi, Ruby, Nine, Wald, Adachi, Narukami, and Hyde. In no particular order except for, like, the first two. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that she has to get carried by such busted characters like Yumi, but so it goes. That said, I do at least adore the new Heart this patch. And again, I always really loved running Heart in general. Like, she is going to be a permanent mainstay for me, and that'll never change. That said, moving on to Labrys, who I think is a bit better in the momentum-based shit, especially considering the fact that she has a massive-ass JB. Yes, some of her normals are a bit slow, but they sped up 5A, which is really nice, and the new 5B is so good. Yeah, the old one completely sucked. The new one she got, however, holy shit, it is amazing. And that's really the biggest thing she got this patch, and that alone is huge. But the main thing is, she can kind of bypass the health buffs, which I think is a bit of a big deal. Characters who can consistently bypass the new health buffs that most characters got, that's kind of a big deal in the long run, especially considering Akihiko exists. Yeah, Labrys is definitely more of a threat this patch, and I'd say that this is one of her better incarnations in a while. I don't know how vanilla Arena Labrys was. I don't mean Shadow Labrys, I mean actual Labrys. So I can't really say for certain there, but I know that this is definitely one of her better incarnations. I will say her biggest issue, keeping Red Axe for more than 2 seconds in most cases. If you're really good with Labrys, that ain't gonna matter. Looking at you, Pancakes. Otherwise known as Tasty Pancakes, but that's beside the point. Anyway, moving on. Mai Natsume. I'll say this about this character. She still has one of the most degenerate 5Ps in the entire game. If not the most degenerate. If only because that thing still reaches full fucking screen. But outside of that, she's kind of bad in this patch. Primarily because of the fact that Her bread and butter game is incredibly inconsistent due to high pushback for no fucking reason, and inconsistent bread and butter is a fatal flaw. There really isn't much else to say on that because it was all the same problems from last patch. Hell, all the stuff she got in 2.0 were primarily bug fixes, and not even all of them were fixed from what I know. Kind of funny, actually. Moving on, we have Naoto Shirogane. Now, I feel like she dropped into low-mid tier primarily for one major reason. Well, yes, she can ignore the health buffs due to the fact that she has insta-kills. Moving her low to the third 5A just to give her a new auto combo route is kinda bleh. Well, yes, the new auto combo routes are great. Moving her low to the third 5A kinda sucks in the long run because she can't trip people up nearly as easily as she used to, which I think was a big deal. And the Megiddo change really didn't do a damn thing to my knowledge. The main thing she did get, though, is JC having more untechable time to my knowledge, and a couple of minor changes with Sukuna Hikona in terms of normals. So that is one thing, but really she didn't change much at all outside of, like, small things. And yes, the 16k health buff is a godsend for her, but at the end of the day, she just kind of got screwed over by the fact that she can't trip people up as easily anymore, which I think was a bit of a big deal. But, what can you do? And to wrap up the low mid tier, we have got Hilda, one of the new characters. Now, I'll say this about Hilda. She completely dominates the ground game in most cases. But when it comes to dealing with characters that get above her, she really has a hard time. I'll say this right now. Her JC, which is very similar to Narukami's JC in terms of like how it moves, is not an overhead, which thank God, but still. The fact that, as a whole, her JA does not come out as fast as you would think it does at times, and that's kind of weird when you think about it. But really the biggest issue is that even though she dominates the ground, a lot of her block strings have some gaps, so you can very easily just smack her with a full screen distortion if you know what you're doing. Also, one of the biggest issues with Hilda, to reliably get mix-ups going, she needs to burn meter. And they're only high-low mix, not left-right because she lost her teleport, but so it goes. The main thing I would say that keeps Hilda at the top of low-mid rather than lower end of it is just how damn solid her assist game is. And really that's about it, to be honest. Not really much to say about Hilda, she's just kind of there, unfortunately. That is it for low mid. We're going to move on to mid tier and close out the video there. Because, oh boy, Hazama this patch. He didn't really change much in terms of his game plan, and his new 5P sucks ass compared to his old one, in my opinion. But what he gained on point in return is pretty fucking sick. Because now he actually has an Aerial 214 series, the A version being his old JC, because now he has a new JC, which, yes, is an overhead, but it's not an instant overhead. I've tried. But yeah, the new buttons he got are so damn good, especially since now he can cancel out of Ouroboros on block with one of the new specials. I believe it's J214B you want to do that with for the most part. And then he can air dash afterward to keep his offensive momentum going. Hazama this patch is sick. The one thing I will say, however, is that he's kind of a solo character, unfortunately. He really doesn't give anything back in terms of teams. But, that's kind of unfortunate, but whatever. So it goes. Really not much I can say about that, unfortunately. You want anyone to tell you the ins and outs of Hazama? Talk to Zavid. He is fucking amazing with Hazama. He's basically the only Hazama we've got running around on here these days. Which, mind you, is pretty damn sick all the same, but still. That said, we will continue the mid-tier in the next video. Maybe not quite finish it, I don't think, but we'll at least get almost done, probably. But until the next video, later guys.